governor was here last year and she's here again this year, and her defense has always been that she's being targeted by the political leadership of Meru. Having participated in the impeachment process last year and now participating in this process again, but on her side, would you care to shed light on whether you are aware of any political influence from the political leadership of Meru, and if so, what kind of influence is there?
That is the position, and maybe, Honorable Speaker, I can give a little narration of how we came up with the second impeachment motion. After political leaders in Meru felt that the governor had gone rogue, members of the county assembly were mobilized upon party lines, and the first party to do that was the UDA party, where personally I was called by the UDA county coordinator then, and he called me for a meeting, and in that meeting that I attended with the majority whip of the UDA party in the assembly, we met with the chair of MP's caucus, one Honorable Rindikiri, who is also a UDA member, and also Honorable Kaduri Moronge, who is the Senator of Meru. And we made a decision that we have to communicate to other UDA members that it is the position of the party at that moment that we have to withdraw all the support for the governor within and without the assembly, and that we were to introduce a new impeachment motion that we call UDA party members or members of the county assembly belonging to the UDA party, and we communicated the same and issued a press conference to that effect. Other parties followed suit, that is Jubilee Party, NOPEO Party, BAS Party, DP, so all the assembly parties issued the same directive that members were to support the impeachment of the governor that we brought to the Senate in the last impeachment motion.
Thank you. Kindly give us the composition of party membership within the Meru County Assembly. How many members are there from each of the political parties?
The Meru County Assembly is comprised of 69 members, that is 45 elected members and 24 nominated members, where the largest party is the UDA party, but with a small margin of the majority, that is 21 members. The next party with or the minority party is the BAS party, which has got 20 members. Then we have Jubilee, which has got 11 members. We have PNU, we have NOPEO, we have DP, and also we have independents.
So is it your testimony that all these political parties were united in the quest to remove the governor of Meru?
That is true.
And we also watched the move of the current motion on TV, saying that it is the business of the Meru County Assembly to impeach the governor. And I was quick to translate the use of the word business into the Swahili language, biashara, connoting that there was monetary benefit by people who participate in the impeachment of the governor. Are you aware of any monetary incentives by people who either support the impeachment motion or any reprimand for any person that does not support the impeachment motion?
Yes, it is true that members of the assembly do benefit financially during these impeachment processes. And because I'm on oath, I can only state that it was during the first impeachment motion that was defeated in this Honorable Senate that there was no inducement. The second one, there was a lot of inducement, and even this one, I believe, there's a lot of inducement, and those who have not been in support of the impeachment motion have severely suffered on the hands of the assembly.
Let us talk about the incentives that you're talking about. What nature are those incentives, and where do they come from?
For example, right now when we are here in this, during these proceedings, members have been facilitated for more than 5 days to be in Nairobi, where they draw per diems and DSAs. And also, I'm aware that during this process, members were also put into a common area where they were held.
Before you proceed there, Honorable Zipporah was here yesterday, and I posed that question to her, and she denied categorically that any of the MCAs within Meru is earning allowances for this process. Are you saying that she lied, that you have yourself received these allowances during the last impeachment, and you received the same for this impeachment?
Yes, because we are facilitated by the Assembly to be in Nairobi for around five days, where we received DSAs and per diems.
How much do you receive as members of County Assembly whenever you appear at the Senate for the impeachment?
According to the directions or guidance by the SRC, whenever members are out in a county headquarters, they draw 14,000, which is the DSA for all county headquarters. So even here in Nairobi, they draw 14,000. Then they also facilitated or given transport back to and fro from Meru.
Does the County Assembly facilitate all the 69 members of County Assembly?
Not always, unless there's a common cause. That's when maybe they can.
I'm asking for the impeachment processes that you are aware of, the second and third, last November and this one. Does the County Assembly facilitate all the members of the County Assembly?
The second impeachment motion, all members, only members who are in support of the impeachment motion were the ones who are facilitated. For this one, they sent out messages to everybody indicating that we should be in Nairobi for the Senate proceedings for about 5 days.
My understanding of the workings of the County Assembly is that you are only entitled to allowances if you are out on official duties and for a very specific purpose. Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Sorry?
Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Under what?
Under what vote? Under what?
Domestic travel. Domestic travel. It's actually domestic travel and accommodation.
For all the members of County Assembly?
Yes.
I want to refer you to page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. Tell us the amount of expenses under domestic travels. 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly. Are you at page 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents?
Yes, I'm there.
How much is amount indicated as having been utilized under domestic travels? Have you identified that? Perhaps we can move, as we look for it, at page 272 of volume 1B. Tell us what was the Auditor General's comment on the county government's, County Assembly's expense. Page 272, volume 1B. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
As the Auditor General flagged impeachment as a project of the county?
It is flagged as an activity of the County Assembly of Meru. Motions for the impeachment of the governor, Meru County, 2 motions for the 2 impeachment attempts.
Would the Auditor General flag a project if it had no monetary implication to the taxpayer?
No, because it should marry the financial statement, so it indicates that there was some monetary implication in that activity.
Have you now found page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly? Tell us the expenses involved within the Meru County Assembly.
The County Assembly spent that 5.50 million on committee sitting allowances for the 68 MCAs against an annual budget allocation of 71.36. The average monthly sitting allowance was 57.63, and the County Assembly has established 27 committees.
Thank you. As I move to the next issue, confirm that each MCA that was in support of the motion last year walked away with at least 80,000 as facilitation from taxpayer, and that they are likely to walk away with the same amount this year.
That one I confirm because the DSA's paid was for 5 days and the transport allowance of 10,000.
So if we were to look at the 49 MCAs that are in support of this motion, times 80, that would be around 4 million Kenya shillings?
Yes, on average.
Thank you. Let us proceed to the next issue. Well, we were in Senate last year, in November. You lost the impeachment motion, correct?
Yes, all the counts were not substantiated.
They were not substantiated. Tell us what transpired immediately when you lost the motion. Were there any reconciliatory efforts from your side? And by your side, I mean the members of the County Assembly that were in support of the impeachment motion. Were there any efforts to reconcile with the governor and have a working relationship with her?
There were none, and immediately we lost the impeachment motion. The following day, we met in a hotel in Nairobi, where all the 59 members and the Speaker of the Assembly were in support of the impeachment motion, together with the Deputy Governor and Honorable Mporo Abori came together. And in that meeting, it was deliberated that members should be taken for a retreat to freshen up and maybe relax.
Do you recall the name of the hotel where you attended and you had this meeting?
Yes, Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi.
Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi?
Yes.
You confirm that that meeting took place the following day after you lost the impeachment motion?
That is true.
What were the resolutions of that meeting?
I was just stating that it was agreed that the Assembly facilitates members for a retreat, for members to go and relax and freshen up maybe after the vigorous impeachment process that they taken. And then immediately after that...
The retreat was in addition to the 80,000 that each of you had pocketed?
No, it was a new retreat that members...
I'm saying it was in addition to what you had
Yes,
already
in
pocketed.
addition to.
Okay, proceed.
So we agreed that we'll be facilitating for a whole week, and we went to Mombasa for a whole week where we were facilitated along committee lines. Therefore, members who had been de-whipped earlier from committees were not participants, and we did committee work for 2 days. And for the rest of the days, we sat down to organize and plan on how to sabotage the government so that it doesn't work. And that is when the time it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the County Assembly to try and impeach.
Mr. Kawira, you are using very strong terms here. Is it your evidence that members of the County Assembly at taxpayers' expense went to Mombasa and planned on how to sabotage the governor? And you're saying that on oath?
That is my evidence, and I want to say to this Honorable Senate, that is when it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the Assembly, petitioning or praying that all CCs for the county government of Meru, chief officers, the county secretary, and chief of staff be impeached so that the government can be sabotaged and does not function, because we have already lost the impeachment motion.
What petition is that you're talking about, and was that resolution ever acted upon, to the best of your knowledge?
It was acted upon because immediately we went back to Meru. A petition was brought to the Assembly, praying for or requesting that the County Assembly conducts an investigation on around 7 CECs, I think 3 chief officers, and the County Secretary and the Chief of Staff, that culminated to a report of the Joint Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, recommending the impeachment of or the removal from office of the county secretary and the chief of staff, and also give members of the assembly freedom, or they were at liberty to introduce impeachment motions for 3 CECs, and that was tabled in the assembly.
I want you to look at page 90 to 145 of the County Assembly's documents. That should be volume.
Page 92.
Of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents, page 90 to 145. Can you take us to the place where you now term as the evidence of the resolution that was arrived at in Mombasa of impeaching, or rather sabotaging, in your own words, the governor's government by impeaching the CECs? Page 90.
Page 90 of volume.
Of the county government's exhibits.
This one exhibit for the governor.
I'll retrieve it shortly. So, as we retrieve that, confirm what transpired in actuation of that resolution.
I do confirm that the petition was brought to the assembly, and it was committed to a joint committee of JLAC, or Justice and Legal Affairs, and also the Labor Committee. And the resolutions or the recommendations of the committee came back that 3 CECs.
Before you proceed, Honorable Senators, I'm referring to volume 4 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents at page 90 to 145. That's volume 4, County Assembly's bundle of documents. But, Mr. Witness, when I look at that petition, it is signed by members of the public. What relationship is there between these members of public or petitioners and members of the County Assembly?
That is on page
90 to 145, volume 4.
Yes, the petition is signed by members of the public, but in that meeting it was agreed that members of the County Assembly look for friendly members of the public who can introduce the motion, or the petition, sorry, and one is a perennial petition in the Assembly. One, Salesio Mutuma, who has signed that petition, has introduced more than, I think, 20 or 30 petitions in that Assembly.
Is it your evidence then that these petitioners were procured by the members of the County Assembly for the purposes of appearing as if it was the public behind the impeachments?
I've stated so.
That is your evidence?
Yes.
How soon after the first impeachment was that petition brought before the Assembly?
In less than a month.
In less than a month. Was there any other resolution by members of the County Assembly to frustrate Her Excellency's government, and if so, in what way?
It was also agreed that we have to sabotage the government through the budget-making process, where members agreed that they will do an itemized budget, despite of the fact that the county government has always prepared an itemized budget, and also do an allocation to their respective wards at that point.
I am having serious problems, Mr. Witness, to fathom that members of the County Assembly would sit and scheme against the executive. Are you sure of your evidence? And do you really want to go on record as a witness of events that really transpired?
That is very true, because members were very bitter, because initially they had been assured that the governor of Meru was going. So
Who
they had
had
to use
assured them? You are talking of assurance.
the
Who had
political
assured
class of leaders, especially those at the national level, but come from Meru County.
the Meru County? I want you to say that again for record purposes. Who, and if you're capable, you can mention names of people you think, or you know, not think, were giving that kind of assurance.
I'm saying,
Mr. Speaker, sir, while I do not like objecting, perhaps it would be important, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the witness limits himself to the evidence before the assembly, so that he does not open Pandora's box and goes on a fishing expedition, mention names that will not be brought before you or before us for cross-examination or re-examination. That line will greatly prejudice our case unless we are assured that the names that shall be put on record will be made available for further re-examination. I am most obliged.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may
Sure.
respond to that issue. It is the governor's case that she's a victim of political witch hunt by the political leadership in Meru. Those facts have been alluded to in the affidavit of the witness. We have annexed video evidence which we will play. It is only fair for counsel to allow me conclude on that issue, unless, of course, I'm touching on a live nerve that he's aware of.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you may allow me in response.
Counsel for the County Assembly.
Yes,
Just
Mr.
take your seat. You know, yesterday I gave you some latitude because the counsel for the governor rose on a point of order on the very same issue. But I gave you latitude so that we run this smoothly. Kindly allow the governor to present her case the best way she knows how. Having said that, counsel for the governor, do not veer off so far from what is already before us by bringing very new material, which then will not able the counsel for the County Assembly to respond adequately. Proceed.
Thank you.